Hey there crew, it's Mark. We're taking a look at some different options outside of bullet journaling as different ways to potentially tackle your tasks. Today we're going to be checking out Finisher Secret's cards. These are brand new cards from Finisher Secret that focus on kind of removing digital distraction, right? Keeping your priorities visible in front of your face and really just tackling your day and writing things down with a real strict focus. If you're the type of person that's never been great with journaling or keeping up with certain things, the Finisher Secret cards are pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and take a review through, talk about everything that comes as a part of this pack, including the stand that it comes with. Nothing extra to buy here, which is pretty cool. So when you open up the packaging, you're going to see the clear acrylic case. It's got this kind of smoked on the bottom, but then you got the clear acrylic up top, making it look like a museum piece. Inside of here, you have your Finisher cards, which we're going to talk in detail about in just a moment. And it also has some blank dot grid cards that are inside of here too. What's really neat about this setup is that as you're using each one of these cards, there's an extra acrylic stand that's on the inside of this, and that's where you're going to place your daily card inside of here. And what that's going to do is raise up your card so that you can see what's going on that day, but still keeps all of the storage in the back of this case for you. I love that they've kind of included everything as a part of this packaging here, so you don't have to buy anything extra. You can get right into the system, but at the same time, keeping things up in front of my face, for me personally, I've found a lot of benefit out of, and I think you might find some benefit out of this too. So the Finisher cards are going to focus on two main things. You've got your top section, which has like your top 3 areas of the things that you must do, and then the bottom section here is going to have another 6 spots for things that you should do. The top right-hand corner has the days of the week, so you can mark what day it is that you're tackling this task. And then on the back of this card, you just have an open dot grid here for notes or anything extra that you might want to write, and then some branding down here at the bottom for finishersecret.com. The cards themselves are pretty straightforward, but what's interesting about this is the mentality behind the must do and the should do. And I don't know that I completely agree with it, but let's read through the card so we fully understand the method, what's going into this, and seeing if this might be something that could work out for you. So on this instruction card, you have the Finisher's cards. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And then you've got your step 1, which we talked about before. Do these things first, win the day, right? Taking all those top 3 things are going to be the most important things that you can do. You can fill in that square if you want to. You'll also see some signifiers that they're using here down at the bottom for the step 3. It talks about how you can track that process. Fill in half of that square when something's in progress. Fill in completely when it's done. You can put a signifier to delay or to move to the next day, or if it's something that's not happening at all, you can cross it out for it to be canceled. The bottom section here is the do after must do tasks. So this is the should do section, which is interesting because on the back of this card, it talks about the must do versus should do. And this is where I don't know that I completely agree with this. I understand what they're trying to say, but I don't know that it's necessarily being said the right way, right? There's must do's and there's should do's. Must do's move you forward. Should do's invite distraction. Must do's demand discipline. Should do's tempt with ease. Must do's are promises kept to yourself. Should do's derail your progress. Must do's shape your future. Should do's fill your present. Stop letting distractions win. Do the important things first. Only then give yourself permission to enjoy the easy, fun, and exciting should do's. Do the things you said you would. So in theory, I understand what they're saying, right? Prioritize the most important things in your life first, get those done, and then take on the other things that you want to try to get done throughout the day. Now, I don't know that I fully agree with the overall, like, should do's distract you from life or should do's are not your priority, because I honestly feel like there are just things in your life that, yes, you must do those today, but the should do's don't necessarily mean they're distractions. They are other things that need to be done. So again, taking that with a grain of salt and really trying to understand what they're trying to do, the overall feeling here is pick your top 3 things every single day that you absolutely have to get done. Those are the must-dos, have to happen. And then anything else extra that you have to get done after that, then you're going to focus through that. I see it very similar to kind of some other methods that are out there, right? The Ivy Lee method is one that I talk about often that I really like. The idea is prioritizing things that you have to get done throughout the day, tackling each one of those in order before you move on to anything else. This is a similar method, but in this case, you're only picking the top 3 things that you want to get done that day, and then moving on to the other things that you want to tackle as well. The ideas of each of these cards is that you're tackling one of these cards per day. What I think will be interesting about this method is if you have other things, more than just 9 things that you need to get done throughout the day, how are you prioritizing those for yourself first if you're just using a card? I suppose you could write those on the back of the card if you needed to, and then once you select the things that you need to focus on, moving them to the front of the card could be an idea. And of course, as you're moving along with the system and moving day to day and progressing through and migrating, if you're not getting certain things done, you can then reevaluate your day as well and seeing whether or not this actually works for you or these are tasks that I have to get done, and kind of going from there. Now, for myself personally, I don't know that I'm going to be taking notes on the blank cards and then using these cards in a day-to-day. I personally think that something like this might work really well along with some type of a journal or note-taking in some form, right? Even if it's a digital space, I personally love the idea of writing things down. I think it's critical. At least I know for me, it's really important. I love that this is sitting on your desk and they're facing up, they're looking at you and you're looking at it throughout the day as an easy reminder of the things that you have to get done. And then the question comes, what do I do with the cards when I'm done with them day to day? Now, the great thing is that everything can fit right inside of this case. I really do like the design of this, and I like that it's sectioned out in this way where you have, the very front is going to be where your card holds up. You could stack all the other cards if you wanted to in that second section, and then if you wanted, you could use that very back row as an archive if you wanted to. It fits all 50 cards no matter where you put them. And then once you're done with that month, if you want, you can archive them away or recycle them if you don't need them anymore. For me, it's something that I definitely think about when I look at different type of card systems like this is like, how am I then organizing them afterwards? And, will I actually go back and look at them? Or are these really tools for the day to day, kind of week to week, to take a look at what's important, what's not important, and how I would potentially tackle that? Now, Finishers does have a goal planning notebook that they have. They've put out different versions throughout the years. I think they're on the 3rd iteration now. And I think the idea really, if you're looking at a system altogether, is that journal, that 90-day planning is kind of your big ticket items, like I talked about the notes and where things are, whereas these finisher cards really focus on the daily, right? This is taking a few minutes to prioritize your day, make sure those things are getting done, and then moving along with that as well. Now, the one thing that Finishers is doing with these cards, which I find to be very interesting, and in my opinion, a really great way to try something and not feel the super hassle of like buying in and then maybe not using them, is that they are offering a 30-day guarantee with the Finisher cards. So they want you to purchase them. And if you use this product for 30 days and you just really don't feel like this is giving you what you want, you can actually email their customer service and they will give you 100% back guaranteed. So let's talk price. So right now, if you're interested in buying the Finisher Card Starter Kit, that's going to be the organizer that it comes with, as well as the 1 month of cards. That's the 35 daily cards, 15 note cards. That's gonna cost you $35, right? And that's currently on sale on that website. And then if you really like this system, then you're looking at a $12 investment, and that's going to get you a restock of the cards for your month. So with a system like this, you're definitely looking for a bit of an investment because it is only the 30 days. So, each stack of these are gonna cover you. Now, personally, I've used a different system that is similar to this. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not using these cards every single day. Sometimes my task and things maybe take 2 days or a little bit longer than that to get into. But if you are looking at going in for a full year of this, and I just like to think about the cost of all of this, right? You're looking at a little over $100, about $120 or so of investment for month to month, right? $12 a month throughout the entire year, $144, looking for that. Now, of course, there are deals and discounts and things that you can do, but I just like to put that in perspective, right? Because this isn't a buy it once and then use it for a year type deal because you are only getting a month at a time. But if this is something that you think that works for you, I think that could be an investment that pays out over time. If you are more focused, you're getting things done, you're keeping your job because you're not forgetting to get things done. Use it around the house, kind of however you want to take a look at this system. It's here for you. You can certainly try it. Now, if you're interested in trying this out for yourself, I'll put a link down for you in the descriptions below, and then you can check out Finisher Cards for yourself. Kind of read through the site, see if it's something that you want to take on. It touts a lot of importance around keeping things visible, as we talked about, really loving the idea of checking things off. And the other thing it talks about is being ADHD friendly, right? Working with your brain, not against it. It's not something overly complex that you have to kind of work through. through to see if it works out for you, because really you're just writing down the 3 most important things and the other stuff that you need to get done throughout the day. So it is pretty straightforward for that case. But I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What do you think about the finisher cards? Is this a system that you think that you would use, that you would like? Is maybe the thing you're doing right now not quite working out for you? Your bullet journal, your planner, and you want to simple it down just into the top things you want to take on day to day this way. I'd love to hear from you in the comments to see how it works out. And like I mentioned, all the links for the finisher cards will be down in the description for you if you'd like to check it out for yourself. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking about a different approach to planning outside of a notebook. It's always fun to check out new things. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next time. See ya.